Hey Brad, welcome to the 2019 OEC golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing. We'll let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, then we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. Okay, so while we put you back here in your dress position, let's just first and foremost take a look at your setup, which looks really good. Got your spine here, it's nice and straight and on a tilt. Your legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Your arms hang down nice and naturally in front of you. Club works out to the ball. So achieving a very nice posture, also in association with really good balance. Next thing we want to observe is your alignment. We can see your feet going in this direction here. Carry that out towards the fairway. Now, theoretically, club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. But nonetheless, we can see that you're set up sort of down the right edge of the fairway inside the tree line where it meets the right rough. So probably going to see some form of a compensation whereby we're going to be trying to get the ball back to the left and the center of the fairway. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here. I'll bring up a model swing of Jordan Spieth. We've got some color-coded lines up on the screen here, just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. We can see as Jordan initiates his takeaway, creates good shoulder rotation. Drawing the arms and hands back as well as the club, and we can see the club coming back on plane directly along the red line. From here, he's going to start to incorporate some wrist hinge into play, working the club head from below to above his hands, and moving the golf club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we want to have the left arm within the blue-yellow V as well as the golf club, and with full shoulder rotation doing that about a very stable right leg. For people who have slightly shallower swings, left arm will be a little closer to yellow. People who have slightly steeper swings, a little closer to blue. With you, we go ahead and watch you initiate your takeaway here. We see that you draw your hands back and your shoulders. Actually, one of the things I want to point out is that you do stack your upper body a little bit open relative to your lower body, and what that means is that your feet, as we've already pointed out, are going to the right, but your knees are going left of your feet. Your hips are following your knees, and then in here we can see your left forearm underneath your right arm. That means your forearms are going a little bit left, as are your shoulders. So we can see that the feet are going right, knees and hips are going a little left of that, and then your forearms and shoulders are going even a little left of that. So because your shoulders and arms are going a little left, we're very likely to see a little bit of a out-in kind of path, or the swing wanting to be influenced sort of in that direction. Now, because your shoulders and arms are a little open as you initiate your takeaway, we see your hands do draw back a little outside there. We can see the butt end of the club moving a little bit off red as you're flipping the club back inside. Nothing severe. I mean, you're still in pretty solid position at this point in time. As we continue to track that golf club coming back, we want to see some good wrist hinge into play. Obviously, because you pushed your hands a little bit outside to initiate the takeaway, very likely you're going to set your hands and arms a little steep at the top of the backswing, and that's exactly what we see here with your left arm getting situated on the blue line. If we could shallow this out a little bit, get your left arm a little closer down onto yellow, it would help your downswing track into the ball a little closer from on plane as well. As we create this transition back into the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left, fire our knees and our hips to the target, unwind our core, and fire our hands. Now, in doing so, we want to make sure we're bringing that golf club from that blue-yellow V zone, bringing the golf club back down on top of red, and that's exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club has returned right back to being on plane. The other thing we want to pay attention of is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. I refer to this as the backwards check mark. Simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands. Therefore, he's retaining angle. This is going to allow us to create a lot of power in the golf swing, let alone being able to hit the ball straight due to the fact that the club has returned back to plane, as we already pointed out. With you from your steep position here, you track into the ball. Hands come over the top, sort of down blue. So you're definitely coming into the ball too steep. So as we track this club coming into the ball, we can see it falling into the ball from a very steep position. I'll go ahead and change that to yellow, go to the next frame, and then go to the next frame here. And we can see how the club is tracked into the ball. So very clearly the club has come into the ball too steep. The club has not returned back to the red line and therefore back to on plane, as we see here with Jordan Spieth. Again, we can also see as Spieth comes into the ball, this club tracks into the golf ball directly from this red line. And this is ultimately what allows us to hit a straight golf shot in accordance to our alignment. Now we can see with Spieth here that his alignment, again, his feet were going over here. Parallel lines have an appearance of converging. He is set up to hit the center of the fairway, and he's going to be able to do that because he's aimed well and the club comes down on plane, allowing us to have a chance to hit the ball in that direction, assuming that the club face squares up by having a good grip. At this point in time, we can take a look at the path of the club, and we can see here with Jordan that the club is inside the ball. It expands out and makes contact. Club moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. Your club is stuck outside the ball, moving down and across, and we can see the path at which it is traveling on. So very simply put, if we were to square the club face up to that path, very simply put, we're going to pull the ball in this direction. Now, if we go back to your address position, we had already stipulated that your alignment was aimed out to the right. You were set up to hit the golf ball over here. We had mentioned that you're going to create some form of a compensation to try and get that ball back to the center of the fairway, and there's your compensation. You come over the top, you swing the golf club from a outside to inside path. That allows you to hopefully pull the ball down blue towards the red flag, and everything turns out for you. The issues that arise here is if the club face over releases, not only will you pull the ball towards the red flag, but then you'll pull draw it or pull hook it if you over release it. If you under release the club, you'll pull the ball still sort of somewhat down blue, but then you'll have some left to right spin and it'll start to fade on you. So unfortunately the end result of the golf shot is solely dictated based on the timing of the club face, because we are coming into the ball too steep, attacking the ball from out to in, swinging the club along that red path, trying to pull the ball back to the red flag. If we over release it, it follows blue and continues down those little blue arrows. Under release it, it follows the yellow arrows. And if you do time it perfectly, you will hit a good shot that will be considered to be a subtle pull fade or pull draw or pull straight shot. But that does require a lot of timing on your part. As we watch Spieth move through the ball here, we can see right heel off the ground at point of impact. We can watch that right heel keep coming off the ground up on the toe of the right foot. Allows the hips to square around, shoulders to fully rotate. His hands are high with the club back in behind him. We can see with you through point of impact, your right heel was off the ground. You've got great footwork through to the finish, and you're carrying yourself through to a really nice finishing position, which looks great. Overall, you've got some really nice athleticism here. You certainly draw your hands back and through really nice. You coil back, you uncoil through with good footwork, getting yourself through to a good finish. But if we want to be consistent, three things we need. We have to aim well, we have to bring the club down on plane, and we have to have a good grip. Unfortunately, you're aiming too far right. You bring the club back, set a little steep. That allows you to come into the ball steep, attack the ball from out to in, ultimately allowing you to trying to pull the ball back on line to the left, which we can see here. And if the timing is on, again, you will hit what I refer to as a pull straight shot or a subtle pull draw or a subtle pull fade, not going to hurt you. The issues arise when the fact that if we over release the club or under release the club, then we're hitting pull draws, pull hooks, or pull fades, or pull slices. And again, it does require a lot of timing to be able to manipulate this perfectly. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you ever want to work on these issues, I do teach over at Glen Abbey where the event was held. Be happy to help you out. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all and you're looking for a unique gift to provide to your guests, certainly feel free to reach out. My coordinates are right here on the screen, and be happy to discuss offering my services to that tournament. Hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video, and hope you enjoy the rest of your summer.